I mean, the fortunate thing is that, you know, the internet was in such its infancy back then that it wasn't like, I mean, I feel like that instantly would have been on everything, but years later I get to share the story with you guys. Shh, don't tell Wil I told you. But yes, we were, you know, we grew up nerds together, and the word nerd is very, it's very sacred to me. It's very, very sacred because I don't know if you guys are aware of this or not. There's a little bit of a hipster infestation in Los Angeles. There's a little bit, if you go east, Silver Lake, there's a nest of them. They should spray Silver Lake with Katy Perry just to get rid of them. Take care of some of that. Take care of some of that shit. Because hipsters, they're awful. They don't appreciate anything at face value. Like everything for them is just, they appreciate everything on an ironic level. You know, like they don't. I honestly think they eat with their assholes because they consume everything wrong. Like they just are irritating. And hipsters should definitely not work in the service industry at all. I went to the Whole Foods in Glendale and there was a hipster working behind the counter and I ordered a breakfast burrito. And 30 minutes later, I still noticed the guy, his beard and peg earrings, still had not made the breakfast burrito. And so I just kind of kindly said, like, oh, it's been like a half hour running in that breakfast burrito. And he just looks at me and goes, so what, you don't want any more? Apology accepted, hipster. Of course. My breakfast burrito's not done. First world problems. First world problems. Oh, there's too much water in my chai latte. First world problems. Oh, the Bluetooth in my Audi. First world problems. But the word nerd is very sacred to me, and so like when I see some hipster, like, well, okay, look, I'm wearing a Captain Picard shirt. That's because I fucking love Next Generation. I love Captain Picard. I love Patrick Stewart. This isn't ironic. I really want some fucker to make it so. Like, I believe it. Like, wouldn't it be hilarious if, like, this is like, no, this is awesome. And so, you know, when you see hipsters under the guise of nerds, like walking down the street, like some 22-year-old kid wearing a fucking Atari 2600 t-shirt when he clearly was not alive to ever have owned an Atari 2600. A video game system that was awesome by virtue of the fact that squares could shoot lines at other squares. And so it's very irritating to me when I see that because I suffered. You know, like, there was no hipster irony, there was no nerd irony when I was a kid in the 80s. Like, you were a nerd. I once got stuffed in a trash can in grade school for bringing Atari 2600 cartridges to school. I couldn't play them there, I just needed them close by. Like, I left all my books at home, I had a Combat Superman Adventure, they were all tucked away in there. And so now when I see this little prick walking down the street with a smug look on his face and his vintage Atari t-shirt, I'm like, hey, listen to me! Kyle, or whatever the fuck your name is. When you see me walking down the street, you better salute me because I suffered so you could be free! You're goddamn right! Nerds, the other N-word, we own it! Here's a good test if you're not sure, if you don't know which side of the nerd jock, because I really just feel like it's those two things that humans break down into, nerd and jock. If you don't know which side of the fence you fall on, nerd or jock, it's very simple. Go buy a jockstrap. Try to go to a sporting goods store and buy a jockstrap. If you're a jock, it's no big deal. They're like, yeah, jockstrap, and then they leave. If you're a nerd, you get nervous and sweaty, and you know, especially if the person behind the counter is a girl, and you're like, I need a bra for my wiener boobs, and then you run out. That's how you know if you're a nerd. It was hard growing up, you know, because when you get stuffed in a trash can and you get picked on, and I mean, like, you know, for me in grade school it was chess club, D&D, computer camp, Latin club, like anything that made vaginas go away. I was fucking waiting for something. know why. But the downside is, like, you know, couldn't fight. Like, there's a young generation of nerds now who are like, I'm a fitness nerd. Fucking no such thing, all right? When I was in school, you just couldn't, you know, I couldn't defend myself. Like, there was no nerd fight. If there had been a nerd fight anthem, it would have gone like this. Nerd fight, there's no physical contact. Nerd fight, internalize emotions and go home and masturbate out of anger. I'm on a blog anonymously. Nerds! Like, you know. So, you know, as I got older, naturally I wanted to rebel against all that. So I wanted to learn how to fight, because, you know, sometimes you just want to fuck someone up with these guns. Pow pow. Sometimes words don't hurt enough. So I took up boxing like 5 years ago, and yes, guys, I am proud to tell you I know how to box. So if I'm in a bar and someone wants to start some shit, I can go to my boxing abilities. So someone comes up and they're like, pussy, and then holds up 2 mitts. I could hit those mitts all day long. Oh, sure I could. Left, right, body blow. I could do all of it. But if he started swinging back at all, there'd be a lot of crying and fear pee. This is a tip for other nerds, or those who are just generally afraid to protect themselves in public. You have to pretend to be more dangerous than you are. You have to adopt a mechanism from the animal kingdom. Animals all the time adopt the colors of more dangerous animals to scare away predators. We can do the same things. Most nerds, white guys, serial killer age range, all you need is a good line of psychotic babble and no one will fuck with you. This is what I've done. I have purchased a kind of Lord of the Rings Return of the King style broadsword. I'm going to keep it tucked in the back of my pants. So if I am walking home one night and someone jumps out and says like, I'm gonna rob ya, or I don't know if I say it that way, what the fuck do I have? Give me all your gold! Gold! I'm not a robbery enthusiast. I don't know how it works. But it doesn't matter. Whatever he says, I will look him squarely in the eye, extract my sword, slice myself slowly across the chest, and proclaim, the prophecy is almost complete. Then, in the confusion, I'm going to hop on the back of a tiger and ride off. Yes, I am going to make a tiger my main mode of transportation. Who would fuck with you if you were riding a tiger? Not a goddamn person, that's who. Guys, you could go riding on a tiger through a biker rally, dressed like a mermaid with a cape made out of dicks flapping in the wind. No one would even make eye contact with you. Are you shitting me? A tiger? How do you think He-Man got away with a page boy haircut and a leather halter top? Riding a tiger or a liger. I want a liger. Lions and ligers and tigons. It's so fascinating to me that we can produce hybrid species. I mean, like, these animals don't choose to mate with each other. Humans make them do it because humans have little to no regard for the sexual preferences of animals. And it's like, we're just like these big dumb kids in a sandbox, like, you, fuck that, I want to see what happens. Like, that's what we do with animals. No respect. So there's ligers and tigons and growler bears or grizzlies and polar bears and zebroids or zebras and horses. And yet, humans cannot produce offspring with our closest animal cousin, the chimpanzee. We cannot get chimps pregnant. So you know what that means? No condoms, right, Paul? Come on. Come on, guys.